All right, good evening. I was gonna wait until like midnight. I was thinking earlier to record and post this video, but I'm thinking now I might as well do it because it is past 9:30. Thinking my mom is aware that it's past the time of dinner, and I think she is ignoring me. I think I said too much, but I feel quite satisfied because I lined up everything that was like significant and like thank you recurring themes, recurring habits of hers that gave me perspective, and I just like while checking my bank account and seeing that she hadn't deposited any money throughout the day uh, through alignment while at the malls here uh, came all these angles and ideas about my mom and her habits involving me and all of the repeating activities to withhold money and then with objectives to try to make me do what she wants. So I also told my uncle and her that they will no longer be using him to bring me food instead of depositing my money. Also, last night, the reason I am not where you usually see where I am posting these videos is because I was like harassed by someone. Firstly, he gave me a cigarette, and then like after we started talking, he after urinating, started telling me he wanted to get down, and he pulled his dick out, and then I was like, can you turn around at least? And then I was like, okay, I'm not down with this. Now you're standing right in front of me instead of where you were pissing and doing that. And then I was like, have a good one. And then he left. And then a couple minutes after he left, it sounded like an arrow from a crossbow went over my head. And then right away, it felt like it came from him. And then from another direction across the street. At that point, I said out loud, lo- location source of projectile confirmed. And then realizing again that all of the PMLs, no, the SMLs really, squatting in all of these spaces with establishments selling stuff in this mall down up and down the street were, when you've got influxers yachting you, they're actually, when you're a positive, making attempts to kill you also when they're hacking in. It's just that you get used to it, that you forget. And I was like, oh, this is like a situation where it's like superhero time and they get to hack in and I get to go through this stuff. And then realizing that looking down the street was a corporation which I had not been having positive interactions with when I go into their establishment, actually set all that up, I heard. I'm not going to snitch on the company. I just like lastly told them, enjoy your future when it comes to all of this because uh, this is something I'm going to remember. And if you continue to attack me as well as like what you're doing when I go into your store in this fashion, something will become of it in the future. And I mean, you're the one coming at me. Yeah, eventually, if you bring me to the point where I have to do something, dot dot dot. So I'll just leave it at that. And then going back to my mom and concerns with her, uh, it looks like you know this new dig to make my payments of my SSDI daily instead of weekly. just like the weekly payment plan has not come into fruition, even as I have already stated, like there were two payments. She didn't claim the first one until she tried to lie about it, and then the second one was her. Then she tried to lie and say that it wasn't her. And I also called the bank today because she said she set it up right. While waiting for her to respond and not responding to me, I said, "Well, why don't I call the bank and ask them what the deal is?" And then they actually lied for her and said that she did set it up on Friday. And then I was like, "Oh, but ma'am, I didn't get payment today." And then talking about the timing of the payments and the fact that none of them are noting her name as the source of the transaction, even though her herself, as far as my knowledge goes, only has like accounts at the same bank as me uh for such activities, and I am not aware of any others at other banks. So it should have been in her name and etc. So I was like, "Thanks for your help, bye." While this woman tried to talk over everything I say when it came to something true, and then like, not making sense really. And she kind of like, okay, forget that. After that comes all this audio of my mom, or not my mom, from other dimensions going, "Oh my god, I can't believe they lied to him," and like saying like, "Oh my god, now I have to pay him every day because they told him that I set it up." I started laughing. I was like, "Oops. Look, the bank lied for you and now you have to pay me every day, right?" And then she probably got over that one and is ignoring that reality. So I don't in addition to not being able to keep me locked down in a place where they're now trying to kill me, although they're not really aiming at me, you know, that in itself was an indicator that, okay, time to go, burnt, don't use this spot anymore. Even though up and down it, there's all these iron benches and tables looking like it's ready for a street party and shit with lowriders and shit. But anyway, I'll have a carnitas burrito somewhere, and then what? This is how it's looking right now, and still have to monitor her movements because, of course, she was expecting a video. It's like becomes like uh the thing she most desires after like every situation where it's like I'm seeing all these angles and texting her and shit. She like desperately wants a video, and then well, here's your video, but I'm not getting paid for it, am I? And when are you going to start that up? Because I reminded her about the hotel thing and how I need to clean my body, especially now being out here. There's like mosquitoes out here, but I'll handle it.